Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. You can also like our videos and share them. To all our subscribers, I want to say thank you very much for your continued support. If elections were to be carried today, ladies and gentlemen, an election between only two people, Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto, or Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, on a neutral platform, who do you think would win that election? I'm asking this because we have started preparations. We are laying grounds for 2027. If you look at how William Ruto is conducting his politics, he is really looking at 2027. But then there are several people who feel that William Ruto is on a trajectory that is really very wrong, because he is not with the people. He has detached himself from the people, even from the ones who elected him to power. He has detached himself from the reality on the ground. He has abandoned the hustlers. Remember, when William Ruto was campaigning, he signed several treaties. He made several promises. He signed a treaty with the women, with doctors, with the teachers, and he really promised heaven, talking to the hustlers and all this. Within 1 year into power, a scorecard has been given, and most Kenyans are giving him a D according to the opinion polls. But yesterday they released a statement that as Kenya Kwanza government, they will release their scorecard, what they have been able to achieve after elections, so that Kenyans can decide, evaluate, and just tell them how much they think, the Kenyans think they have achieved. But it's very obvious that Kenyans will evaluate Ruto's performance in line with their political and ethnic affiliation. Most people from the Rift Valley and Mount Kenya will really give him A. The majority of Kenyans will really cast a lot of aspersion in his work. There are several allies of William Ruto who have tried to defend William Ruto to an extent that it is becoming untenable. Because you cannot defend the obvious. When something is wrong, it stings to high heavens. One of the people who talked about Ruto's performance and his demeanor is Mutahi Ngunyi. I got interested because there are very many people who have been supporting William Ruto, but they have been, wavering. Sometimes they're with him, sometimes they're giving comments that look like they're not with him. One of them is Okuru Okot. Okuru has been a thorn in the flesh to William Ruto. I don't know when they parted ways, because he had been a friend who was really supporting William Ruto. Ahmed Nasir, the city lawyer, is another one who has been praising William Ruto, but of late, he finds fault in him. So Mutahi Ngunyi recently told us, after supporting Uhuru for over 10 years, Mutahi Ngunyi said that he had defected officially, because he was saying he had realized that William Ruto was on the right trajectory, that William Ruto was on the process of resuscitating our economy, and he said that he might have judged him wrongly. It was a misjudgment, and he said that he had defected, and he has been praising Ruto for over now 2 months ever since he defected. And I remember sometimes after he had defected, he made certain statements that Ahmed Nasir himself said that this is bootlicking, and most people thought that he wanted a job at Statehouse. But there is a U-turn that he made that has really shocked many, because he is facing and staring William Ruto with the reality. He has confronted William Ruto, and this is something that I don't think William Ruto would want to see. Because Ngunyi Mutahi is telling Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto that, dear Ruto, take time to listen to Kenyans. The ground is hostile, and dishing out development at Uhuru Park will not help you. You are talking to yourself. Period. You are popular abroad with Muzungus, but at home we are hostile. Take time to listen. Truth report. So that is Ngunyi giving William Ruto what he calls a truth report. If it would have been before he defected to support Ruto, he would have told him that this is the truth that the M-Pesa bishops cannot tell you. But if you look at the summary that Ngunyi Mutahi is giving, Ngunyi Mutahi feels that William Ruto is not listening to the people. In fact, he has mentioned it twice there, that listen to the people. He feels that William Ruto has turned to be a one-man guitar. He's making unilateral decisions without looking for the opinion of Kenyans who, quote unquote, gave him the power. Because the Constitution, in the first chapter, even in the preamble, says that we, the people of Kenya, give ourselves this Constitution. And we have donated power to our leaders. But William Ruto seems to be thinking that since they are in power, they can do anything even without listening to Kenyans. If you look at our Constitution, there is the provision for public participation. And a public participation should not be just a mere guesswork, a mere formality. And I've given this example before, that when Kenyans were called upon to give their opinion upon the Finance Bill 2023, upon the Housing Finance Bill, people said it's not the time to do this. We are not ready for it. But we were ignored. And so when Mutahi Ngunyi tells William Ruto to listen to the people, I think he believes that there is the enemy, the elephant in the room is the high cost of living. And it has been brought about by the Finance Bill 2023. Of course, they try to say that it is a global problem. But if you go to the IPRA statement, when they increased the prices to over 200, something I'm made to understand, has never, that the prices have never reached there in the history of Kenya, of our nation. IPRA mentioned categorically that we are doing this in line with the Finance Bill 2023, because when it was passed and it went through the courts and the courts failed to stop it, then the implementation started. And it seems like William Ruto does not listen to us. He listens to the mabwenyenyes, the people with the money, the businessmen, the people around him, those who can maintain even 8 meals in a day, those who enjoy luxury. And he also listens to the international community. And that is why Ngunyi is telling him that you are talking to yourself and you are very much popular abroad. You are popular outside. You've seen the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, showering William Ruto with a lot of praises as the man who's at the center of peacekeeping in Africa, in East Africa, because William Ruto wants to be in Haiti. He wants to be in North Sudan. William Ruto wants to be in Niger. He wants to be everywhere, maintaining peace. Back at home, if you question him about anything and you go to the streets, there will be no any peace because the police will be unleashed and people will be killed on the streets. But you will never see Antony Blinken or Biden or Madam Meg Whitman calling him for who he is. Instead, he's the man who is being told, we were told, by the way, that he's very democratic, that the democracy in Kenya is on a very wonderful trajectory. And so William Ruto keeps on winning accolades when he's outside there. When he stayed in the US for, was it over a week or something, he met several leaders there, and I understand that he was meeting the world technology CEOs. And when you come back to Kenya, as he tries to sell Kenya as a hub of investment, he has increased the prices of electronics. He wants to create an environment for the youths to become very innovative. Yet things like laptops and phones that is now in the digital world, that is supposed to help the young people to try and engage in innovation, the prices have increased. And you wonder, and they keep on praising him. Ngunyi is telling him, you are listening to, you are talking to yourself. Why? Do you know, even today, William Ruto believes, our president believes that we are gullible. He can come and deceive us. I gave you in my earlier video, you can go and watch that video if you have not, how William Ruto, was part and parcel of negotiating and decided that they were going to create a dry port in Naivasha. And then people were ferrying their goods using the SGR. And during the campaigns, William Ruto made a U-turn. And Uhuru Kenyatta could not believe it because he said this was wrong. It was denying, the citizens in Mombasa a chance to get jobs. And he promised them that he would return that port. Of course, after taking oath of office, he returned that port. But as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, the port is coming. The port operations are coming back to Naivasha. And I'm not saying there is anything wrong. I'm looking at the fallacy with our leaders. And not only William Ruto. We have several leaders who will go to an extent of lying to you. And these are the kind of things that Mutahi Ngunyi is saying, you are not in the right trajectory, and is telling William Ruto, this is the truth. Listen to the people, stop talking to yourself, lying to us and maintaining the lie without blinking, because he believes that we cannot question him. Why? Because he's our man. When you are a Kalenjin, this is your presidency. When you are a Kikuyu, this is your presidency. Maybe because you are a lawyer and because you have the chief minister and the speaker, this is your presidency. You don't sit down to understand that there are things that William Ruto promised and he has not implemented them. Doctors are about to go to strike. Teachers are about to go to strike because there is no money. Do you think William Ruto can win on a neutral ground if elections were to be called today? And do you think Mutahi Ngunyi is right on calling William Ruto to listen to the people, to stop talking to himself, to stop pleasing the international community? When they say tunataka LGBTQ, Ruto anasema yes. When they say tunataka GMO, yes. When they tell William Ruto remove all the subsidies, yes sir. When they tell William Ruto increase taxes, yes sir. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen?